We've got breaking news out of college football where Michigan State is expected to hire Pat Fitzgerald as its next head coach. That's the latest from our Matt Zenitz. He'll replace Jonathan Smith, who was fired earlier today after going 9-15 over 2 seasons in East Lansing. Fitzgerald was most recently the head coach of Northwestern for 17 seasons, where he's the program's all-time wins leader. Fitzgerald was fired prior to the 2023 season following allegations of hazing. He would later sue his alma mater for wrongful termination, settling the suit out of court with the university in August. Let's bring on Richard Johnson here, and first and foremost, what do you think of this hire, Pat Fitzgerald to Michigan State?
Well, my question with Pat Fitzgerald and Michigan State is this: is he going to be better in a different spot with more resources devoted to NIL? You know, it's my understanding that he did not have what he needed to succeed at the end of his tenure at Northwestern. And so Northwestern was being left behind in the transition to the NIL rev share era. And so is he going to be able to compete with potentially more resources at Michigan State? Because honestly, if I'm Michigan State and I'm paying $30-odd million to fire Jonathan Smith, I'm not doing that to then kneecap the next guy without the requisite resources. He's got to have what he needs to be competitive at Michigan State in this current era of college football. Also, the wrongful termination lawsuit obviously settled, as you mentioned, but there were some questions that popped up about him sort of as a leader. So how does he galvanize a locker room the right way so that something like that and those rumors and those things that came out don't happen again?
You mentioned the NIL of it all. It kind of caught the tail end of his tenure at Northwestern. It wasn't nearly as in deep as it is right now. Something else that's changed? I don't know. There's a brand new Big Ten since he was last coaching in the Big Ten at Northwestern. So what new challenges does he face now as he steps back into coaching after a few years off?
Well, you know, that Northwestern team at the end there was playing this style of football. It was ball control. It was control of the game. It was kind of the classic Big Ten football that Iowa, for instance, plays really well. But Northwestern was just not able to play it very well overall. And obviously that's one of the reasons things just kind of waxed and waned at the end of his tenure. But I do think at Michigan State, I should say, that they can have some success. Now, you got to figure out the quarterback situation. Is Aiden Childs your long-term answer at quarterback at Michigan State? What are you going to do? Obviously, in state, you know, you've got Michigan, who looks like they're going to be on the rise with a Bryce Underwood. The division configuration no longer exists in the Big Ten, so you don't have that to deal with, but you've got heavy hitters out west that have been added to the league in USC, Oregon, and Washington, namely. So it's a new Big Ten. It's a new landscape for Pat Fitzgerald. They're going to be going west a little bit here, is Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan State is a team that's won 11, 12 football games. They've played in Rose Bowls. They've played for Big Ten championships. But where do we view this team now? What should expectations be for the Spartans?
Well, it's got to be better than it is. I mean, this is the bottom half of the Big Ten team. And look, I know it's a big league. Someone's got to finish 14th and 15th in the Big Ten. But for Michigan State, it just seems like the Rose Bowl days are a far too distant past for the Spartans under Mark D'Antonio, and that's unfortunate for this program. They've sort of been chasing that era of success for quite a while, and we'll see if Pat Fitzgerald can bring it back.
There you have it. Michigan State set to hire Pat Fitzgerald as its next head coach. Richard Johnson, appreciate you breaking that down for us. One of many hires that have been made on Sunday. A lot of action in the SEC with Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Ole Miss, and LSU all wrapping up their coaching search. Still more positions open, but we will guide you through it all right here on HQ.